What's up YouTube, this is Tubedigga. In this video I'm going to emulate what's known as a morphable filter. So what is a morphable filter? It's basically where you've got 3 or more different types of filters and you can sweep between those filters to create some new and interesting effects. What does that sound like? Well, it kind of sounds a bit like how a phaser sounds. So I'm just going to press the first pad on my first track in my program. I've not named that program because I'm feeling particularly disorganized today because I've got a lot on my plate. All right? Okay. Now, on first listen, some of you might think that's a phaser, but it's not. It's a morphing filter. I didn't need to go there. Let's go to Program Edit. Let's look at our samples. So we've just got this jazz sample here called Back Home. Okay. Now that is also on pad 2. If you just take a look at my pads up there. It's also on pad 3. It's not on pad 4, but that's irrelevant right now. Let's go to our filter and take a look at that. On our first pad, we've got a low pass 4 filter. On our second pad, we've got a high pass 4 filter. And we've got a band pass 4 filter on our third pad. We haven't got anything on pad 4, but that's irrelevant right now. Let's go back to samples and just take a look at pad 1 again. And let's go to shut up. Let's go to master. And as you can see, the shut up. Oh, it's not playing. As you can see, the simultaneous play is what's allowing us to play those 3 different filter types back at the same time. So pad 1 is obviously playing its own back, and then it's triggering pad 2 and pad 3, and they're all set to those different filter types that I showed you at the start of the video. If we go to Lfo Modulation, we can see that pad 1 has got a triangle wave, and the rate is set to quite low at 13, but we haven't actually got any filter modulation going on there. Let's go to our second pad, and our rate is set to shut up, and our rate is set to well, just below 40 there, just below 40. When I say that, I mean 39. And let's take a look at our third pad, and that's also sweeping around at the same rate, but the amount is slightly different. So we've got a bit more on our second pad, and we've got a little bit less filter modulation on our third pad. Let's now go to our cue links. I'll explain all this so it makes a bit more sense in a minute. Let's press our cue links, press and hold rather, and then we can press cue link edit, go to program. So I've set it up so I can sweep those 3 filters. So on my bottom cue link, so cue link number 1 is controlling pad number 1 filter cutoff, and my second cue link is controlling pad number 2, and my third one is controlling pad number 3. The top one there was set to the same, so that's why it's changing it at the same time, but we can actually switch that off because we don't really need that, just so it doesn't confuse you any more than you probably are, because I keep saying shut up and doing stupid things when I should be really serious and quite grumpy, as sound engineers apparently are supposed to be. But not me. I'm full of beans, full of joy, full of the flannels of spring, whatever that means. Go back to Lfo Modulation, and we can just get rid of all those. Shut up. Okay, So let's now trigger our first pad. As I showed you before, our first pad is simultaneously triggering pad 2 and pad 3. And as you can hear now, it's static because I've taken the modulation off. And the only reason I've done that is so I can show you how we can morph the filter manually with the Q links, but we can also automate that. So the modulation was just on for the demo at the start, just to get you into the swing of a morphable filter. Yeah, great. So let's see, I've forgotten whether I had actually recorded this in. I think I probably have. I have. So let's just, shut up. So let's just duplicate that, or rather double the length of the sequence. So I'll go back just in case you guys who haven't used the double length sequence parameter before. It's the sequence edit menu, pencil, and then you just do double length. Just do it a few times. Should have about 64 bars. Oh, there you go, 64 bars. So let's just have a play with that. So before I start recording, I'm just going to switch my metronome off because that's going to be a little bit irritating ticking away. And I will see you on the other side of the morphable filter. So I'm not going to do any more of that, as you probably get the idea by now. So pretty simple, guys, really. You've got 3 pads, same sample on each pad, but the first pad is simultaneously playing the second pads. They've all got a different filter type. So the first pad, I've done it kind of logically. The first pad's got a low pass, second pad's got a high pass, and the third pad's got a band pass. Okay. Play about with the different filter types. You're going to get different effects from the types of filters that you choose, but I recommend mixing them up. Definitely try the vocal ones. They're very good. You do need to set a high resonance. I'm not going to demonstrate those now because I haven't had time to test.
Show the goddamn
and I don't want to get
fella.
some nasty peaks on the video recording. And I'm a busy man. I've explained this before.
Come on, Tubedigga, you tired ass. Show the goddamn.
I'm just not going to do it.
Filter.
Okay?
Show them the filter. They want to see the filter.
Just don't push me. All right? I'm not.
Come on, goddammit, you tired ass.
Okay. So
Show
what you
them
need to know is
show
that
them the
we've got.
vocal
I'm
filter,
not going to do
you
it.
tired ass bitch.
Just
come on.
Stay back.
Yeah, show them
okay?
the filter.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So band pass 4 on the third pad, high pass 4 on the second, and low pass 4 there. Blah blah blah. You can obviously get your LFO automation out on those, but it's a lot more fun to set up your Q links, as I showed you, in program mode for these first 3 knobs to control your different filters, and then just get yourself in right automation mode and have a good old jolly old right automation party with your knobs. I hope this video has been insightful, slightly entertaining, moderately irritating. Love you all. Thanks for subscribing. Please share the peanut butter out of this video, and I will see you in the next one. I've got some more good stuff coming up. Get yourselves over to my Patreon page if you would be so kind. Chuck us a donation, will you? Things are getting a bit tight this end, me old mates. Might just make it a bit easier for old Uncle Tubedigga, yeah? Go on, chuck us $1. It's only $1 a month. Go on, get involved. Get involved in that old quarry that I set up. I put a lot of work into that. Have a look at that last video I did, and it will show you how you can help old Uncle Tubedigga. Yeah? Yeah? And in the next video, right, as a special treat, I'll do some Columbo impressions for you. Alright? I'm Tubedigga, and I'm out.